Sweet. Hey guys, Drew and Yellow, and we are here with Phase 5's podcast episode 2 with a very, maybe to some surprising guest, maybe to some familiar guest, but we have Jodi Grassman, 4-time world wakesurf champion, and she's just like an iconic wakesurfing women's superstar. Jodi's been around the game since 2011, 2012?
13.
Since 2013.
Yeah.
And has spent a lot of time with Phase 5. We'll get into all of that stuff. But welcome, Jodi.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I'm excited
absolutely.
to be a part. Episode 2.
Yeah, yep, this is it. This is number 2. So we'll dive in. First thing, your first Wakesurf set, and how did you get into the sport?
Well, I grew up on the water, really young. We had a lake house, and we ended up moving there permanently when I was in middle school. But growing up, I traveled around with my sister. She did wakeboarding contests. She was competing professionally in wakeboarding, and I kind of got into it when I was younger too. But it was cool to be in the wake scene, no matter whether it was before wakesurfing,
right.
whatever it was. So it was really cool to be in that industry and kind of know it before I even jumped into wakesurfing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you start wakesurfing, and then you decide you want to compete in wakesurfing. What was your first wakesurf event, and like how did it go for you?
So after I figured out that I wasn't super interested in wakeboarding at the time, I'd now learned to kind of love it and mess around with it a little bit. But wakesurfing started out in 2013, and then 2 months after I learned, there was a
horn that honked.
Yeah, that's exactly. It was like, you need to go.
They thought you were going to cuss, so we have a sensor out there that keeps it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But 2 months after I learned how to wake surf, there was a competition in Florida. And I was like, we might as well just go try it and see what it's about. I went to this event and had no idea what division to put myself in. And I'm pretty sure it was, I don't even remember the person, but they were like, well, what tricks can you do? And I was like, I can throw a 360 sometimes, and I do a front shove. and they were like, a front shove? Like, not even the pro women at the time.
Not a typical one, right?
Not even the pro women at the time could do that. And they were like, there's no way. So they just put me in amateur, and I ended up winning that amateur division, and then
That's awesome. Do you remember what event it was?
it was
Or where
up
it was?
in Ocala.
I thought so. I think it's the same event that John
it's that
was
lake. I
referencing.
can never say the name of it right.
Lake Weir.
Was it?
Lake Weir.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I thought
I'm
it was like
assuming that's where
something.
it's in Ocklawaha, Florida.
that
That's
one.
the name of the town.
Yeah.
So that would have been nationals in 2013, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was the same one that John referenced earlier. That was like his first
That's crazy.
go at it. Yeah, that is crazy. That's cool. Very cool. So how did you do in it? You ended up winning amateurs?
Won amateurs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. So then how many events did you do before we started kind of like riding and doing lessons?
I don't think many,
Not
because
many
I think
more, right?
as soon as, well, because we knew you before I started wake surfing. Because since we were down in Leeo Ranch and you were at the compound.
Oh, that's right.
And you were wake skating in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's right.
And we were at the beach, and my sister had a surfboard, and we were like, well, we don't surfboard, so we brought it to you, and they're like, well, you have a boat, don't you?
That's funny.
And then so you showed us the Phase 5 board, and then we traded the surfboard for a Phase 5, and then the set.
That's right. I didn't even remember that
Yeah,
part.
and then after this event, I was like, hey, I kind of like this sport, and then my mom brought me to you, and
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, you were multiple
Yeah,
world champions.
I was
so.
in it at the time.
Yeah.
So then we
You were
started
deep in
riding,
it. Yeah.
and I remember like, you know how lessons are. Sometimes you're like, oh, this could be a long day. But I remember like taking you out, and you were like, you would do a trick like mediocre, and you're like, no, that's not good. And I was like, ooh, like she actually wants to do these tricks like the right way. Like this is cool. So then we started riding. And it was like every session was like new trick. I felt like for like ever.
Yeah.
So after that, then you kind of really like your competitive journey from there kind of just started hitting like milestone, like, and went off.
Yeah.
Because, so that was, you were riding an amateur, and then 2000, when did you go to like outlaw? Well, you won an amateur world championship first, correct?
I did. So that was the year of 2014? No,
Okay.
2013.
Okay.
So
the same year that you
ended up,
first competed, you decided you'd win an amateur world championship.
Yeah, so I went through the entire season of amateur, and then the next season I did one event as outlaw, and I was like, no, I don't want to, like, I won it, and I wanted to, you know, step up my game. I wanted to, like, constantly improve, so I was like, yeah, even though if I get last place in pro, I wanted
At least you're pushing yourself.
push myself. So
yeah,
did my second event, my second year.
In 2014, you were riding pro division.
Yeah.
That's rad. So, 14, you ride pro. Probably did okay, probably learned a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
15, 16.
Yeah, so taking it back to like when we were training together, like that's all I wanted to do. I was doing like probably 12 to 15 events like a season.
Yeah.
I was like just going to every single one. And just like meeting people and learning new stuff and just learning from you and seeing like what my style and amplitude and everything could go. And then 2014, when I think at Worlds, my first year, I got third.
Okay.
At Worlds in pro. And then the following year, like I kept doing that many events. And then I got second the following year and then second again and then in 2017.
Yeah. So by like your third year wake surfing, you probably did more events than I did in my entire career.
I did a lot.
That's what it sounds like.
I did a lot, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So take third. You took a second in 15 and 16?
Yes.
Yes. And then I know our team rider, Caro, won one of those years, I think.
I think it was 16.
16, Caro won, right. And then you were kind of like, okay, time to go. So you won 2017.
Yeah.
Tell us what that was like.
That was pretty freaking cool.
Where was that? Where was that Worlds at?
Maybe
that
Vegas? I
Yeah.
think it was the Vegas one.
Okay.
But I'm so stoked that Caro won the year
Yeah.
before. She 100% deserved
Yeah.
it. I didn't deserve it that
Right.
year.
And we'll have Caro in here, but Caro is she might be the closest to being in the game as long as I was in the game.
Yeah.
She was around forever, and like I think she took more second places at Worlds than it used to break my heart for her.
100%.
Yeah, so
and I've
that's
always
rad.
looked up to Caro. She's
that's awesome.
always been such an amazing person.
Yeah. So we're in Vegas, 2017. Like, how'd the event go overall? Did you think? Like, how'd you do? How'd you feel?
Overall, I think I have that video, and I just posted about it or something, and it was Caro and Nicole and like this whole group of people. As soon as everybody knew that I won, so as soon as I jumped off, they popped some champagne. It was like, it's such a core memory. It was so cool.
That's awesome. So you win your first world championship 2017. 2018, you get your own pro model. And I remember being at event, and it was a really weird time in wake surfing where like kids were winning like Outlaw the year before, and like before they ever rode in their first pro event, like they had a pro model with whatever sponsor they were riding for.
Yeah.
And I remember, I want to say it was like when Nautique redid the G and we were in Texas, and we were walking to the event with everybody, and we were talking about pro model boards.
Yeah.
And you even said, you're like, no, like I like that you guys like we have to win a world championship before you do a pro model. And then it was like, oh, okay, that's all I need to do to get one. I'll just win next year. And then so your own pro model, like how did all that come about? How did you pick your design? Like walk us through that whole process.
I mean, the whole process was just like incredible with winning worlds, and I knew like we kind of started on the design from then on, and just putting all of the detail of like you guys listen like so clearly of like everything that I wanted and put into this pro model board, and it turned out like incredible the first time. We only had like one prototype, and it was like, yeah, it's perfect. But yeah, it was really cool, and to earn it with a world championship was definitely like that cherry on top. Like, yeah, I did it.
Right. Yeah. No, that's awesome. And that's kind of like the way we felt. Like it's cool when you earn that.
Yeah.
You know, like it'd be easy to give everybody a pro model, but then like what does it really stand for at the end of the day?
Exactly.
That's cool. So you've won 4 world championships?
Yes.
2017, 18,
19,
20.
Yeah.
Back to back to back to back.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive.
And then I think from there, I don't think I went to the World Championships because that's when, I guess it was before they started doing like the Masters.
Right.
Like a couple years before that, but then I started only doing that one instead
Yeah,
of the
I feel
Worlds.
like 22, 23 is when like the Nautique Masters kind of really rolled in strong with the wake surfing thing.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So it seems, actually hold that. What are your thoughts on the state of wake surfing right now? Like competitive wake surfing. What are your, because there's been a lot of like, I'm out of that scene a little bit, but from the outside looking in, it's like WSWS, CWSA, which seems to have kind of like drifted off over here somewhere. You got the WWA, who seems to really want to be taking on a lot of the wake surfing.
Yeah.
And is super organized, I feel like. But it seems like there's a lot of shifting. Like, so overall, like as far as contests go, like what are your thoughts on the mix up and then like the state of riders and like competition?
And I think from like the new riders that have been like under 10 years ago.
Right.
Like when I first started, when you were in the peak of it, like it was such a different time. And then as soon as like 8 or so years ago, like it just totally like changed.
Yeah.
And like the people changed, like the industry changed, like it's a totally different
Like
vibe.
a full shift, everybody out, new people in.
Yeah, 100%. So I think nowadays people don't really notice the change, but because back in the day it was just so chill and relaxed, but now it's like this, the skill level has improved like freaking jet, and like nobody would have ever thought to throw a 7 shove or anything what anybody's doing nowadays.
No.
So like
especially to watch like a 14-year-old dude at the time.
yeah. So that is just crazy in its own way.
Yeah.
But in the aspect of like the associations and everything, I think WWA is just crushing it with like their organization and just kind of making it seem like every event is very prestigious in that way.
Right.
And I don't do any of like the WSIA or the
CWSA.
CWSA. Like any the WS.
Yeah.
I don't do any of those. I might try and dabble in that like within the next couple of years.
Because the WWA, I believe, has brought all of those under their umbrella now, correct?
I don't want to say anything that I'm I'm not 100%
sure. Yeah.
But I'm not too familiar with it, but I feel like they're still trying to keep that nostalgic feel.
Yeah.
To having like so many events throughout the year, which is incredible for people from different areas of the United States to like come if it's in their area, because WWA, they have like 5 events a year.
Right.
But it is very cool to see the other associations kind of dabble in these like smaller areas, smaller events, that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. All right, so that takes us to a little bit more recent.
Mm-hmm.
So you win 17, 18, 19, 20.
Mm-hmm.
And going into the 2021 season,
mm-hmm.
people probably noticed like all of a sudden like Jodi wasn't on the Phase 5 catalog. Jodi like,
mm-hmm.
and you just kind of did like your thing,
mm-hmm.
you know? And you can get into it as much as you want, not as much as you want, like no big deal. Like, and we're not here to put anything down by no means. Like as far as we're concerned, like everybody out there making wake surfs, I think
mm-hmm.
it helps our sport, and that's what we're all about.
Yeah.
So, but you took kind of a little hiatus,
mm-hmm.
right? And I think you explained it to me, like your words were pretty good on like where you went and did, and then like, so it just go through a little bit of that if you want, if you feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was just at the time, I felt that it was something that I felt like I wanted to do, or just kind of go off and just kind of experience something. So that's what I did, and I went and learned and grew as like an athlete, and learned from like different experiences, and just as a person I felt like I grew. So I mean, it was 5 years.
Right.
So a lot happens in 5 years. So I just took everything like that, and I don't know, I learned.
Yeah,
I
no, that's
learned,
awesome.
And now I'm here.
Yeah. And so I think it was like right before Thanksgiving. I remember like my phone rang and I like picked it up and then it was done ringing and it said Jodi Grassman. And I was like, oh. So I came to work and I said to Max, I was like, hey, I'm like, Jodi Grassman called me last night. And Max was like, I wonder why. I'm like, there's only 2 reasons, Max. I'm like, either one, she accidentally called me. Or 2, she misses all the Phase 5 jive and everything going on over here. Yeah. So I called you back and we started talking and great conversation. You know, we all kind of went through it and like now we get to say, hey, Jodi, like welcome back. Like super rad. We're all stoked.
I think it was just like a fate situation. It was really cool, and I knew that like I was looking at where I wanted to be like in the future, like what I wanted to do, and there was no other choice than like coming back.
Right.
Which is like because you guys are just like family. It's just what you essence. Yeah. So, that was really cool. But the experience, like I was in class and I was like, oh, I meant to like text you. I was like, hey, I wanted, I want to chat and catch up. And then I ended up accidentally calling you, and then you called me back, and I was like, hey, yeah.
That's funny. No, that's awesome. And like I said, like you were a part of Phase 5. I felt like early on, and you talk about like the contest scene. Like I remember in the peak of it, like showing up to events, and it was like there was like these handful of people who were going to ride in this contest, and then there was like this Phase 5 group of people.
Yes.
And it was like we went everywhere together.
Yeah.
Everybody stayed at houses together. Like it was such a fun like. It was more of like a family reunion, and there like happened to be a wake surf event there.
Yeah.
And I feel like that part of wake surfing is maybe not really happening like it used to. And I think people are taking wake surfing like super seriously, which is cool. Which is cool. And then so what do I got? Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's people are taking it seriously, and people are turning it into a career, and it's taking off. Like, I think it's just evolution of it was very new at the time.
Right.
Like I came in when like the female side was just super underdeveloped. Like there was minimal tricks. The guys, you guys maybe one of you had a 5 shove or something? I don't even, maybe not
2013,
even
that. Because John was on the scene, so we finally had a 5 shove.
But there was only maybe like one or 2 of you.
Yeah.
But like just the growth of it in general, I think that's with any sport.
Yeah.
Just growth and skill levels just like immensely growing.
Yeah.
But it is crazy to see like how serious people are taking it. And I'm just over here, back in the day, we used to just like hang out at this big house and play pool and ping pong.
Yeah. And it's actually funny because that was one of the questions when we told John that you were coming. He said, a great question for Jodi would be, how does Jodi like see the whole like the women's side of it? Because like you said, when you came in, like there was only a handful of you. And even that, like maybe even a smaller group of that like legit was trying to push wake surfing. Yeah. And now it seems like, I mean, the Ashley Inlows, the Whitleys, like, it's blown up a little bit. Like, there's quite a few girls that are
100%. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, like, I mean, it was Bree Chamel and Taylor Dory and Caro, and it was, like, blast from the past. Yeah. But that was such a crazy time, and then, like, I was at the time where Whitley and Ashley were maybe a couple years ago, but, like, right now, they're, like, peak.
Yeah, they're
and like I was at my peak 7 years ago.
Yeah,
so like
sure.
I feel like I'm the Caro to them.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So it's like it's such a different feeling that like I was competing as much as like they are and like really into it and being able to train like every single day and like doing lessons and that sort of thing. So it's definitely like this road, and I'm like a little bit like
further down
down
it
in like age and skill level.
Yeah,
but.
For sure. No, that's awesome. I just had something on my mind. All right, let's jump over to foiling. You like to foil. You don't see a lot of girls foiling.
No.
So how'd you get into foiling?
I love foiling. Actually, I got into it with Armstrong quite a few years ago. They sent me a bunch of stuff. I was on their team for a year. And I was super into it. And I loved like the learning process because it was like relearning a water sport. Like you won't ever have that feeling again.
Right.
Because like I learned how to wakeboard. Wakesurfing is basically getting up the same thing as a wakeboard.
Right, yeah.
Like you learn it and you just like you could automatically get up on anything.
Right.
But foiling, it's like totally different. So it's
awesome.
like relearning a whole new sport with like, and you are humbled very quickly.
Quickly. Oh yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
So like learning to love it is like really cool.
Yeah.
So.
I don't love it.
No.
And I got one clip on my phone from like, it's like 50 seconds of riding, and it's like the only one I have.
Yeah. I think it's fun because like it feels like you're flying a little bit.
It does.
Because like you can do it when it's like choppy out and you're just like kind of gliding through it, and you just put on some good music.
Yeah,
just,
the
like,
feeling when it breaks the water and you're up riding is not like anything else.
No.
Like it's cool. I see the attraction to it.
Yeah.
The
totally.
foil swinging by your head when you fall.
Yeah.
Not
I
attractive at
love
all.
like just cruising. Like, and then somebody's like, it's kind of boring. Like, why don't you try something? So then I would pump, and I can do the second wave, and then they go to the front, and then I can do a couple airs every once in a while, but I'm still trying to nail down the backflip.
There you go.
But we'll see.
We got a guy that can help you.
Yeah. Perfect.
So I remember I was going earlier. You were talking about like being a little bit further down the road, and like I think over your last like 5 years, 6 years, we've seen the trend of like maybe it's not super competitive, Jodi. Mm-hmm. It's more like clinic, regatta, demos, lessons. Mm-hmm. Like it's more of like being on the boat with the people who are going to the stores to buy it. Because, totally. I mean, if we're being honest, like everybody at the Wakesurf event, like they all have their boards and their companies, and like it's a really cool scene, but like sales-wise and growing the sport-wise, like probably not the best spot to do it.
Totally.
So just talk about like how you took that role on, and like how much you like. I've always enjoyed being out with like everyday people and riding and the opportunities. So talk about like that transition a little bit for yourself.
Yeah, I think it really first started when we went to that first event in Minnesota with Wake for Warriors with Nautique, and that whole teaching process, and then and then I get my pro model, and then seeing people go out, buy it, ride it, and love it is like another piece to that puzzle. So like the teaching and being out on the boat with people and seeing their passion for it to where like I started, it's also a good reminder to why you started and why you love it. So like seeing people like just do it for fun and like just to be out on the boat with their family and not kind of work towards a competition is like a whole mindset that like a lot of people in the industry of like competing don't really think about.
Right.
So I think it's really cool to just be out on the water with people and enjoy and give lessons and kind of teach people what they don't know. Because if you don't know, you don't know it. So like if they don't know what board to be on, if they don't know their speed, their boat settings, anything like that, just to kind of guide them in some sort of direction.
Right, get them started.
And then get them started, and then they'll love it even more and more.
Yeah.
And that's what grows this sport.
Yeah. And it's almost like, I know for me, like watching somebody get up and let go of the rope for the first time or hit their 360 for the first time, like you kind of get to relive that own feeling that like when you did it for the first time too.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, let's go with some questions here. Let's jump ahead 15 years from now. As you look back at your wakesurfing career, outside of contest, world titles, what is it that you want up and coming riders and things like that, like people of this industry to remember about you?
I think essentially that, helping growing the sport and being remembered for how much I love it and how much I wanted to like spread the love of the sport. So whether it's coaching or you know literally anything, to just be out on the water and then they're like, oh yeah, Jodi taught me that, or I remember seeing a video of Jodi doing this, or
That's awesome. So now that you're a seasoned vet, you've been around wakesurfing for a long time, and I know that like years ago when you were newer in it, like you always get this question from people, but like now that you've been here for
12 years.
What is it, 12, 13 years? Yeah. What is advice to like up and coming riders just from the wakesurfing side, and then maybe from like somebody who's like getting into that like super competitive side of it?
I'd say you started it because you enjoyed it. So keep that always in the back of your head. Learn the industry, learn the people, grow the connections with the people and the industry, figure out your own style, ride the way how like you want to ride. If like you see somebody like, oh, that's really cool, I want to be just like them, learn to be just like them. You know, like that's how I saw you. Like I'm like, oh, he gets like massive air, and then you got crazy style and you grab everything. Like that's how I wanted to do it. So do that and take care of your body. Like the longevity of the sport and like your career in the sport, like that's all ties into everything, and just like keep the passion for it. And kids, thank your parents.
Yeah, right.
That's like my big thing. Like you see a lot of stuff. So
yeah,
and your parents do a lot. And
right.
Yeah. Now I'm older, I know all of that.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Thank your parents.
Yeah. If you have a boat in your backyard or sitting in your driveway, like that's pretty big blessing to start with.
Yeah.
For sure. That's awesome. Like, all right. So I'm a believer in like everything we do in life. Like we're either growing from it, we're learning from it. What is something that you take away from your wake surfing career, the sport, that kind of taught you like a life lesson that you'll take with you as you go through the rest of your life?
I think everything in life, like everything's gonna work out the way that it's supposed to. So whether you ride really good one day or you end up falling and you just ride super crappy the next, like you're gonna have good days and bad days, whether it's surfing or like at your job or something.
Right.
So just take everything with day by day, and I don't know, that's how you kind of gotta live your life, because everything's gonna end up the way that it's supposed to.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's awesome. I don't know. Anything else that you want to talk about that we haven't hit on?
No, I'm excited to be back here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And yeah, I'm excited for everything to come.
Yeah, we got some good stuff planned. A lot of digital content in the works. Obviously, we got episode 2 of our soon-to-be multi-million viewing podcast that's going to be out there. Like, all right, so I know I asked you when the microphones were off, but are Wally and Cassandra still shredding?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My mom's already picking out her surf style board.
Okay, that was my next question, was whether they're ready to get back on a Phase 5.
Yeah. They've always been huge supporters, and
That's
they just
awesome.
love you guys. So, and my dad's always, skim style.
Yeah.
He'll ride every single board that I have. So.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What do you think? Anything we're forgetting?
I don't think so.
Sweet. Well, that's a fun blast from the past to have you back, and we're stoked that you're back.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
going through like my, like I made a couple posts like a little bit ago, and it was just like I was going through all the footage of just like back in the day. I was like, dang, it's crazy seeing like so many different people and faces that aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
And then I was going through like all Phase 5 blogs and
I
all
do
the
that
old
go
photo
back
shoots
and reminisce
and
a little
stuff.
bit.
It was cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day because I remember Ty and I came over to ride with you. What was your big dog's name?
Maui?
No, your mom and dad's, the big bulldog.
Oh, Brewski.
Brewski. And I had Lola, and she was like the little puppy.
Yeah.
And I remember we were going to the truck, and Brewski got out and like went after Lola, and like I snatched her up, and Ty was standing there, and he's like, "What is he doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing." And then I was thinking the other day, I'm like, "Dang, my dog's 12 years old. Like, that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're getting old."
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
that's
man,
awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Well, if we don't have anything else, I think that's it. Like I said, we're super stoked to have you back. I think we're going to, when people see everything going on, like I think we're going to shake things up a little bit, which is going to be fun.
Yeah.
A lot of content. I think that's it. So
Cool.
follow Jodi at Jodi Grassman
Yeah.
on Instagram, right? And much like John, if you're out at an event or a demo or clinic or anything else and you see Jodi, like super approachable, and we'll be happy to help you talk about boards or tricks or anything else. Other than that, until next episode, I think that's all we got.
Thanks, guys.
We're out.
Thank you.